This is the Tigers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh, what a difference a day makes, right? All is well. The Tigers beat the Phillies 7-5. Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers postcast. I am your host, Jake Riepma. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Riepma. And the Tigers, even the series, they play long ball, 4 home runs from the offense. What a day for Javier Baez. We will break it all down. And oh yeah, Tarik Skubal, he's pretty good too. And Kyle Finnegan gets the save for the Detroit Tigers. But Will Vest continues to struggle. As always, this is your post-game destination, free and available wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, on YouTube as well. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team each and every day. You know the drill. The game ends. We hop on. We have the reaction, and your comments are heard. So buckle up, dial it in, and make sure you like and subscribe. Like today's video and subscribe to Locked On Tigers. It's that easy. Got a little animated last night. And, oh, yeah, we'll have our talking point, our turning point, and player of the game as well. I did get a little animated last night, which I went back and watched, and I really do feel that way, and everything I said I meant. And again, got a little spicy, but hey, that's what a passion for this team will do today. And I almost predicted this, that Tarik Skubal would go out and pitch a great game, albeit that 7th inning kind of came out of nowhere where he allowed the 3 runs, but still has 10 strikeouts and is just in complete control on the mound. And with Zach Wheeler starting for the Phillies, you felt like it would be that type of game. But this Tigers offense brought the big sticks. They brought the bats to the tune of 4 home runs, 7 runs. They needed them all because there's no quit in this Phillies team. There's no doubt about that. So without further ado, let's get into our biggest talking point.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Call me crazy, but I still have a bitter taste in my mouth from yesterday based on the way that game played out. And I got to get over it. There's 162 of these games. I will. But the bullpen still continues to be an Achilles heel. I mean, look at the Phillies' run production from the first 2 games of this series. It's all come in the 7th inning or later. I mean, it's just insane. I know Skubal gave up the 3 runs in the 7th inning today, but 5 more runs from the 7th inning on, just like we saw last night. And so I hate to harp on that, but that's a big talking point for me. If I were to tell somebody about this game, I would include that fact. I would also include that, hey, maybe Kyle Finnegan can be the guy. He gets his first save, and in a Tigers uniform, his 21st of the season, I should say. But he looks good. I mean, he had to come in the 8th and rescue Will Vest and then complete the 4-out save. So there you have it. But I would also include on the talking point, and more on this in the player of the game segment later, but Javier Baez, 4 RBI, a 2-run homer, a 2-run triple, which again, those insurance runs were absolutely needed because of the shortcomings in the later portion of this game from the Tigers pitching staff. So that being said, hey, how about Javier Baez continuing to produce this magical season after an abysmal start to his Tigers tenure for the last 3 years? Here he is having it all figured out and looking like the old Javier Baez and having a lot of fun out there and just really being a lethal hitter to the tune of power, using the entire field, and more disciplined at the plate. All the things that we saw in a past Javier Baez life when he was an impactful player for the Chicago Cubs and then the Mets, and now on to the Detroit Tigers, where you talk about, again, a tumultuous start to his tenure as a Tiger. And this city, myself included, is all is forgiven when you produce at the highest level and up to your capabilities like he has. So big talking point of this game would be the production of Javier Baez. Again, the 2-run homer and the 2-run triple. Other notes from this one, again, the Zach Wheeler, Tarik Skubal matchup, we thought, and to a large portion it delivered, would be an epic pitcher's duel. And it was. I believe Jason Benetti mentioned the first 6 innings took an hour, and then the last last 4 innings is where the game it took a different direction, because you see final score 7-5. Okay, there's a lot of offense, but there certainly wasn't at the beginning portion, other than the 2 solo home runs in the 3rd inning for the Detroit Tigers off the bat of Colt Keith and then Kerry Carpenter. So Carpenter continues to rake since rejoining this lineup. That adds a whole new element as well to the offense. You got to love that. And then defensively, what a play by Riley Green, laying out on the track portion in foul territory and left field as well, with the starfish catch. That was really, really impressive. Things you love to see. Riley Green making the play. Although, the mustache, maybe I was snoozing yesterday and missed it or whatever it was, but no mustache today. Was today the day that that change was made? But nonetheless, Tigers get the win. And Gleybor Torres, I mean, my goodness, what a season he is having. Continues to be one of the linchpins of this Tigers offense. And again, you look at Gleybor Torres and the production that he's had on a consistent basis. Obviously an all-star for the Tigers, but smashing his 13th home run of the season in the 7th inning. And with the way he just has been an impactful contributor offensively, played great defense, that's just proving to be a tremendous offseason addition for the Detroit Tigers. So I try to be fair. I try to be positive and complimentary to this Tigers front office when it warrants it, and the pickup and addition of Gleybor Torres is at the top of that list. So there you have it. But I got to be transparent. I got to be honest. If you saw last night's episode, it's about as animated as I've ever been on a live Locked On Tigers postcast, and it was all sincere. It was all genuine of how I was feeling after that game. But here we have against a good Phillies team, a couple of first place teams duking it out, and you got a rubber match on Sunday Night Baseball. You can't really ask for much more, but last night obviously was a frustrating loss, and I called it the worst Tigers regular season loss in some time. So lots of comments to get to. Appreciate everybody chiming in and hearing your voice on the Locked On Tigers postcast. And as always, it's a collaborative discussion. And worth pointing out before we get into the comments that Tigers team deserves some credit. Coming back on a quick turnaround, a night game into a day game, albeit a 4:00 start, but a quick turnaround nonetheless, and showing the resiliency not to fold and get swept by a good Phillies team, but in fact to come back, get the win, and even the series. All right. JP leads us off. Nice, but let's talk about that bullpen. Paging Mr. Harris. This bullpen won't work in the playoffs. I had that exact same thought and that exact same feeling. Demetrius McNeil, that's how the Tigers bounce back from a disastrous loss in Game 1. Tomorrow night is Sunday Night Baseball and the rubber match of the series. Love to see it. Braylon Dennis, Javier Baez saved our ass. In a lot of ways he did. And had some help from Colt Keith, Gleybor Torres, and Kerry Carpenter. Guy Merritt, hope you're feeling better today. I a little bit. Again, anybody that thinks, even what we watched today, that's a team that can achieve the aspirations and the goals we have for this team. I'm not there. So I'm not quite all the way back feeling great about this team. Sean Gray, Finnegan looked good. Indeed, he did. Kyle Finnegan coming in with the 4-out save, as I mentioned, was very comfortable on the mound, mowing hitters down. And obviously with this Phillies lineup, it's one of those lineups that just comes at you from so many different ways and so many different guys that can beat you. It was good to see him just not even give them a glimmer of hope in a 2-run game. All right, Gareth Ridings is up next. Vest needs some time off to figure stuff on his pitching woes. Yeah, he might. He's been bad, and it's turning from a slump into a funk to where it is very, 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 very concerning. I'll put it that way. Braylon Dennis, stop bringing Vest in the 8th inning, please. We might need to see a different 8th inning setup guy. It'll be interesting to see when you look at this Tigers roster with some of the additions that you saw at the trade deadline. If those guys will be added to the rotation, or where they'll be in that rotation. You know, is it going to be one of the new guys that they got on the trade deadline? You know, is it going to be Rafael Montero? Is he going to be the guy that you lean in as a setup man? I don't necessarily think so, but we'll see. We'll see. So all that to say, hey, got the win today. Tarik Skubal's on the mound. He was fantastic as well. 10 Ks, 3 earned runs, all 3 in that 7th inning there, where they kind of ambushed him a little bit, but enough to get the win. All right, some good comments here. I always love the comments, and this one from Larry Dana David. Why watch the game, dude? You just want the World Series to already be won. Yeah, I guess so, Larry Dana David. I appreciate that comment. You're usually the one stirring things up in the comments section, but yeah, I guess I do. Why watch the game? I just want the Tigers to win the World Series on August the 2nd. No, of course not. I enjoy every game, and that's why we do a live Locked On Tigers postcast after the game, and that's why we chat. That's why we commentate, commentate after the game. So there you have it. All right, Sean Gray, I wish Vest could get on track again, and then back end of the pen could be okay. We'll see. We'll see. DT Lions still almost blew it. I had that same feeling. Robert Den Duven, if we win tomorrow's game, then we win the series. It is good to win 2 out of 3 from a very good Phillies team. I would agree with that on the road. And again, the discussion's funny. And you know, if you follow Major League Baseball, you know, the Yankees loaded up and got Bednar and a couple of their bullpen arms, and they got absolutely shelled yesterday. So there's that as well. And Major League Baseball is a funny sport, and there's new data and information every single day because we play every single day. So if you want to say, oh, well, see, if Scott Harris would have gotten those guys, they would have gotten shelled too. That's fine. It's a little bit of a transitive jump to say, well, then, you know, they're not good type of thing, but make no mistake about it. My thoughts, my feelings that I said last night are exactly the same way today. I don't feel this Tigers team did enough at the trade deadline. And would it be great to get 2 out of 3 against a really good Phillies team? Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's focus on that. All right. A couple other comments to get in here. Larry Dana David, in his ever so charming way, says 7-5 isn't a lot of offense. Well, when you have 2 of the best pitchers in the game on the mound and you had 2 runs after 6 innings, I would argue that's a lot of offense. So thank you, Larry Dana David. Mike, yes, Dollar Store Detroit. Sean Gray, I felt the same way last night. Asked my wife. She knows when the Tigers win or lose because of how my mood is after. Hey, as long as it doesn't lead into anything else. But all right, Tigers get the win. AJ Hinch is at the podium right now, and I'm sure he feels better after the turnaround in the win today. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, after we keep the lights on a live Locked On Tigers postcast, we will have our turning point and our player of the game and look ahead to the rubber match tomorrow next on a live Locked On Tigers postcast. Hey, this episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. It's time to fuel up and turn it up with 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, of course, into a quick, energizing shot. So whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, this one's a hole-in-one for your energy game. And let's be honest, guys, some days, and gals, some days on the course or off it for that matter, you just need that extra boost to stay sharp and energized. Have you ever tried to win a ridiculous bet on the golf course? Well, maybe a crazy wager on a hole, or you're playing skins, whatever it is. You know, 5 Hour Energy would help keep the vibes up and keep the mood up, even if you don't win that bet. So golf, you know what? It's all about good times with good people and good flavors, of course. The grape ginger lime flavor gives you the best part of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the bev cart, girl. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is the number 5hourenergy.com. you can use my promo code LOCKEDONGolf to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you are meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion flavored 5-hour energy shots today. Gotta love a Tigers victory after a tough night last night, turning it around. 4 home runs for the offense. First, it was Colt Keith, then Kerry Carpenter, and then, Javier Baez and Gleybor Torres, and then a 2-run triple from Javier Baez, 4 RBI day for our guy, Javi. Let's get into the turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
For this one, I'm going to lean on that 7th inning because the Tigers, I should say the 7th inning into the 8th inning. So the Tigers give up the 3 runs in the home half of the 7th inning. Skubal gets out of it, but that was a game that, it's 5-0. You feel so comfortable. All of a sudden, it turns to 5-3, a 2-run game, and Javier Baez insurance, the 2-run triple in the 8th to make it 7-3. You feel so much better. Then Will Vest that it happens, and it goes back to the 2-run game. So you can't quite get too comfortable thanks to that Bryce Harper 2-run homer in the 8th. And then Kyle Finnegan shutting the door with really according to the Phillies, that being like he put them down quietly. There was never any stress. There was never any traffic on the bases, just 4 up, 4 down. And Kyle Finnegan gets his first save in a Tigers uniform, his 21st of the season. So things you love to see. Let's get into our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It is, in fact, Javier Baez. Javi El Mago. Yeah, we love it. Javier Baez, big day at the plate. Coming up clutch. He needed every single one of those runs, especially in the 9-hole. How about that? 2 for 4, 4 RBI, home run, and the 2-run triple for Baez. It's his 11th home run of the season. And again, a huge boost for the Tigers. So we've got our Sunday night baseball. So we'll be on tomorrow night as opposed to the normal day game routine. You got on Sunday night baseball, Charlie Morton going for the Tigers, Christopher Sanchez for the Phillies. 7:10 first pitch, and 2 really good teams playing a little Sunday night baseball in the rubber match. You got a lot on the line. Looking forward to that. We'll see how AJ Hinch decides to manage and maneuver this new bullpen, especially with the probably before the deadline, not even probably, but I would say the undisputed best pitcher in this Tigers bullpen, Will Vest, struggling, hitting a slump. So will be interesting to see if AJ sticks with him and if there's a high leverage situation tomorrow, who he decides to go with. So thanks so much for tuning in on a Saturday evening. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and back-to-back evening Locked On Tigers postcasts. So we'll have Sunday Night Baseball tomorrow in the rubber match. Make sure you like today's video, subscribe to the Locked On Tigers on YouTube, and don't forget, it's free and available wherever you get your podcasts. And that will do it for me. I wanted to make sure that everybody was still paying attention. All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. See you next time live. Locked On Tigers postcast. Tigers even the series with a 7-5 win over the Phillies. See ya.